So we're on page 13, lesson 14b, and we are on to another type of factoring, and we're going to deal with trinomials today, where a is greater than 1, and we are not able to factor out the a value as a GCF. So we're going to start first kind of just with talking about guessing and checking and what makes sense. So it says consider the trinomial 6x squared minus 35x minus 6. Below are 4 guesses of how this trinomial factors. So I want you to take a second, use the process of elimination to determine which one of these is correct. Okay, so once you've started, probably the first one you could eliminate is this one because my first 2 terms multiply to x squared and not the 6x squared I want. So that one is not correct. Looking at the last terms, that's the next easiest thing to check. This would give me a -6. -6. This one would give me a +6, which is not what I want, so this one is not correct. Down to my 2 final pairs of binomials. This one, the firsts give me the 6x squareds. The lasts give me the -6. The middle parts we're going to have to check, and the same thing is true over here. I get a 6x squared for the first terms and a -6 for the last terms. So looking at the middle terms here, this is going to give me a -9x and a +4x. This one is going to give me a -36x and a +1x. So this is the one that looks correct because that is the one that adds up to the -35. So this is the answer. Now the question is, if I don't have multiple choice, how do I get to that step? And it really comes down to thinking about how this can be made into 4 terms. And we're going to talk about that process, and it is a factoring method called AC grouping. So I actually have the work shown out here, and I will talk through it. So it says for a trinomial in this form, where this number is greater than 1, I wrote absolute value because it would work if it was negative also, and A, B, and C share no common factor, so we can't take out a GCF. So the first thing we do is the part that needs the AC. Okay, so we find 2 factors where both of the following are true. So the sum is B, so we're still trying to add up to this number. So what's a little different is we take and multiply the A and the C numbers together, and that's the number we're trying to multiply to. So to write that on the side, we're trying to add up to -35 and multiply to -36. And you don't have to write this on the side just because it's brand new for you. I wanted to kind of write something on the side to help you out. So when I find those 2 numbers, so the numbers that multiply to -36 and add up to -35 would be -36 and +1. So what I do with those is I take this middle term and I split it up into those 2 numbers. So I have -35. Now in this case on my notes I wrote 1x, -36x. I could have written it the other way, that's just needed a property. And if I look back up here, I see, once again, in the opposite order, as soon as that happens, right, those same terms. So I'm getting it to this point where the middle is split up. Okay, so that's what we just did. We split the middle. We took the -35x and we wrote it as a +1 and a -36. Now, you'll notice now I have 4 terms. So the next thing I do is once I have those 4 terms, I'm going to go into grouping that we learned in the last lesson. So if I look at the first 2 terms, my GCF is x. If I look at the second 2 terms, my GCF is -6. I would definitely take out the -6, but I'm also trying to make this binomial, the 6x plus 1 match, so that can help you kind of pick what to take out as well. So once we have this GCF, right, we're going to take it and put it in front, and then it's factored. And we will see, just like the top, we have 6x plus 1, x minus 6. So that is the process of AC grouping. AC for my multiplying number, split the middle, and then use your grouping method. So I'm expecting I want you to try A and then come back to the video, but I'm expecting you might not make it the whole way through because this is brand new. So looking at this first problem, we have 4y squared minus 9y plus 2. I can't take out the 4 in the front because 9 does not have a factor of 4. So I'm going to try to find numbers that add up to -9 and multiply to +8. I'm going to take my two current terms and I'm trying to split the -9 into those numbers. So numbers that work for what I want are going to be -8 times -1. That's my factor pair. So I'm going to write them in whatever order I think of them. -8y minus 1y. This is a +2 from before. Okay, so I'm putting them with y's because they have to be equivalent to -9y, so I'm just making that match. From here, we're on to grouping. First 2, I take out a 4y, and I have y minus 2. Second 2, I'm going to take out a -1, and that gives me y minus 2. My binomial matches, so I can factor that out, and that is my final factoring. If you wrote these two in the opposite order, like this, you would end up with the same factors. You just probably had the 4y minus 1 first. Go ahead and try the next one, and then come back when you're ready. So here, I can't take out the 6, throw in my little 1 there. So I'm trying to multiply to -12. Bring my two terms to the outside because I'm splitting the middle. So numbers that will work for that are -4 and +3. 4 multiplied to -12, adding it to -1. I move into my grouping step. Take out a 2x here, and I get 3x minus 2. Remember from the grouping lesson, I do have to take something out to get the structure I need to do the next factoring step. So I'm going to take out a 1 because there is no other GCF, and I can look forward and see, yeah, that gives me the 3x minus 2 that I want. So I take out 3x minus 2, and I have 2x plus 1 left.